Cornell Diehl's Warped Cloudhopper. There is a rather long description on this blend. I'm going to spare you from that. I think what's important, the key takeaways would be that Jeremy Reeves of Cornell Diehl got together with Kyle Gellis of Warped Cigars, and they collaborated on a handful of blends, Cloudhopper being one of them. Its components are made up of red and yellow Virginias with a dash of Perique and some cigar leaf. One thing that did shock me is that I don't read reviews before I review a tobacco by and large, and apparently even Smoking Pipes is considering this a strong strength and taste and room note and strength within itself. So I found this to be rather mild. Even in the reviews, many people find this to be smooth but strong. So keep that in mind when you're listening to this very subjective review. Blessings. Hello, I'm Rinky Dink, and I hate intros, just so you know. I don't mind making content. I've always hated intros. There's a piece of tobacco blocking the stem, chamber, hole, port, whatever the hell you want to call it. So one thing I've noticed about you all out there, I never see y'all run. I'm not saying you don't, but I seldom do I see y'all run pipe stems. Pipe stems? I'm exhausted, okay? This is a good time to go ahead and clarify. I work 4 12s and 1 8, and I know that's an easy Friday to have an 8-hour Friday. I'm getting older. It takes a lot out of me. I do these tobacco reviews because I look forward to doing something other than sitting on my bum on my weekend. Rather than that, I don't do much. Okay, I'm just letting you know. I do laundry. I grocery shop. I cook food. I read scripture. I do the video. And then I just go back to work. As is life in modern times. Also known as bondage or slavery, because that's what you are. You just don't realize it. Or maybe you do. Welcome. So, you're not going to see a lot of me in your comment section. Not that I was there a lot, but I used to partake, especially with a handful of people, more frequently, and I don't do that anymore because I'm smoked. I'm just smoked. Okay? And that's why. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, if you're not doing much, why not just sit back and watch YouTube videos? And sometimes I do. Often I don't want to do that. Okay? I just do whatever the hell I want to do, and it's not that, it's other things. Sometimes it's YouTube videos, but a lot of the time it's not YTPC. Sometimes it is, it just depends. And anyways, Cloudhopper is in my pipe. This is my third bowl this morning. I smoked 2 out of my cob, not the Country Gentleman, the other one, and I forget the damn name of it, okay? It's the smaller bowl one. It's the one Beans always smokes out of on his channel. And I like it better, far better, out of the 311 KS. And that's classic for this pipe. This pipe smokes damn well. As a matter of fact, I've been looking at the Sasso, the smooth Sasso 311 KS and the smooth Sasso 701 Savinelli. I'm not going to buy it because I can't justify spending the money. But I love that Sasso stem. It's, I don't know what you would call it. It's something. I'm sure it has some type of artistic Italian history to it. But to me, it reminds me of like a speckled, feathered marbled stone. It's got some different grays and tans and whites and blues in it, and it's just gorgeous. The Sasso stem from Savinelli. Beautiful. So I think my next pipe, whenever that is, will be as smooth. Everything I have is rusticated, and I'm really eyeing those smooth pipes. Anyways, let's move on to Cloud Hopper. The first two smokes this morning, I was going to do a review, but I was tired. Okay. I already drank another one of these. It's my second one today. It's gone. This is my fourth bowl, actually. I just sat here and smoked a bowl and didn't do a review again. Finally, the coffee hit me, and now I'm doing it. The first two bowls, or the first bowl I had out of my cob, it was really bland. The first 2/3 of the smoke, to be honest with you, it kind of came alive. This is a Virginia Perique with cigar leaf. It's dominant Virginia. I don't know, it's a medley of yellow and red. I think there's more red than yellow. I heard someone say that they think there's more yellow than red, but hey, to each their own. I believe there's more red than yellow. Virginia. Just the smallest pinch of Perique. I recommend. It comes in that classic C&D broken flake. You saw a picture of that at the beginning of this video. I really recommend breaking it up, rubbing it out. If you want to fold and stuff, you do you, boo. But it's one of those broken flakes where things will be unequally distributed unless you like to be surprised. Spend some time rubbing it out, tear it up, cut it up, do whatever you got to do. Because I have noticed sometimes the cigar leaf is kind of clumped together on one side, or some of the Virginias are over here, or whatever the case may be. So if you want to make sure you get an equal distribution of the Perique, the cigar leaf, and those Virginias, do yourself a favor and break that up, rub it out, and distribute it evenly, as to enjoy a very balanced and even smoking experience. Now, I find it to be a very, very mild Perique. Virginia Perique with cigar leaf. I do appreciate the cigar leaf in it. I think it gives it some cool nuances. It's very mild. It is creamy. I like it far more out of the 311 than I did the Cobb. It does come alive down at the last third. It is wildly different and so much better out of this pipe than it was out of my Cobb. So go figure. It's a poker style Cobb, for crying out loud, so it shouldn't be that radically different, but for whatever reason it just is. And this is my go-to pipe. It's hard to beat the 311. One day I'll get a church warden like Greg Tunnell, and I'll get a wife beater. I just say that to mess with him. He's like, it's not a wife beater. It's a wife beater, buddy. If the shoe fits, I'm just messing with you. It's a tank top. But, I like it. Again, I think a lot of guys would get this. If it smokes for you the way it did for me out of my Cobb, I can't put words together. I just can't. It's going to be very mild, and it's probably going to be a little forgettable, you know. But the way it's smoking out of this, I liked it out of my Cobb. I just thought it was a very mild smoke. You barely know. I mean, you notice the Perique, but it's just a dash. Like, it's like you take Orlick Golden Slice and you quarter the Perique in that. Okay, it's just a dash. but it is creamy. And I like the attributes that the cigar leaf had. Very smooth. I gave it some drying time just because I found that even when I rubbed out the tobacco, I don't know what it is, the way that Cornell Diehl presses their flake, it was just super dense, and it didn't come super wet or anything. It was just slightly moist. I gave it some real dry time. And it's a mild smoke, like, it's very tame. I think a lot of people are going to have a problem with it just in that regard, but I like it. Okay? I don't know what else to say about it. I just think the way that it's balanced, I appreciate it. All on its own accord, I appreciate it, even though it's very mild. I think that's good. Sometimes the best damn tea, okay, doesn't have a lot going on. It's just super fresh, okay? And you drink it in the summer, and it just hits the spot. And I think this is like that. It's good. And I hate saying this, but I'm going to say it anyways. Because it's Virginia dominant, I'd like to see what it does after some real age, 4 to 7 years, 3 to 7 years, okay? So I like it. Like, I could have this in my permanent rotation, and when I get around to smoking it, I'll be like, oh yeah, Cloud Hopper. I like that. Oh yeah. It's not bursting from the seams with flavor, but I still like it. So that's the best I can say about it. If you are not a big retrohaler, stay away from this. I retrohale 90% of my smoke. I French inhale it. For people that do not retrohale, I would say completely steer away from this blend. It's too mild for you. I still can't wrap my mind around how or why anyone would smoke pipe tobacco and not retrohale. But it could just be that my palate sucks. That could be it. It really could. It could just be that I have no palate, I have no sense of taste, no sense of smell, and I have to do those things to shock myself to pick up and identify with anything. That's very possible. Like, I read a lot of these reviews on tobacco reviews or whatever, smoking pipes, whatever. And I think in many regards, a lot of that is just absolute pretentious horseshit. I'm just going to tell you that. I do think that's there. I think people convince themselves, I think they attribute certain elements of tobaccos to what someone else said, and they label it and characterize it, and they just go forward with it. Whatever. I think some of that is there. I also think a lot of it's not horseshit. I think some of that is just real. I think some people out there are just very good. They have very complex a sense of taste and a matured palate. It is they're real connoisseurs of pipe tobacco, and they go deep. They just can do that, and they're good at it. So I don't think it's all bullshit, but I think a lot of it is bullshit. I mean, when you got a guy over here like it's Snickerdoodle, and a guy over here is like, no, it tastes like Rocky Road. It's like, shut up. Both of y'all shut up. That's all I'm saying. I can't do it, so I don't try to do it. Now, let's move on from Cloud Hopper. I like it. I think a lot of people, I just want to preface it, if you don't do a lot of retrohaling, I'd steer clear of it. I think it's going to be too mild to do much to you. I'm just going to tell you that. For those of you that are okay with cigar leaf, or like cigar leaf, in a red and yellow medley Virginia, with just an ever so tiny slight dash of Perique, go for it. That's what I would say. It is mild. Very mild. I like what the cigar leaf is doing with the Virginias. Even though it's mild, because I retrohale so much, I get a lot from it, okay? It's doing something for me that I like. And it's good. Like, I really do like it. If I could talk a little bit about my last review with Luxury Navy Flake, now that I'm kind of done with this. The first time I smoked Luxury Navy Flake, it was just wonderful aftertaste. It came together. It was my first smoke of the day. My sinuses are typically very sensitive my first smoke of the day. It just landed well. It hit the spot. It was magic, and I enjoyed it. Every smoke that followed that first smoke, which was like 6 to 7 smokes, it was just okay. That's happened to me on occasion. I remember Mac Baron's Royal Twist Deluxe did that to me. It was always better than okay, but it had this really amazing magic that came together like the first time I smoked it. And then it didn't happen for like 7 following smokes, and then it came again. It came again. I was kind of under the impression, not just with the Bullseye Flake and the Luxury Twist Flake and the Luxury Navy Flake, I'm just kind of always under the impression as I smoke the Peter Stokkebye stuff that it's the kind of blend I would get bored of quick, and it just bounces between okay or decent and good. And I think it's just one of those blends for me that they have a strong start and they get bland quick. And that's just me. I'm not trying to shit on Peter Stokkebye, but I am. And that's just the way it is. It's just not for me. It's okay. It's just okay for me. It's just okay. And that's rich coming from a guy that's really enjoying this very mild cloud hopper. But I like it. Something about the way the cigar leaf comes together with the yellow and red Virginias and that dash of Perique that surprises you from time to time. I really like it. I think someone like Beans or someone that likes these heavy hitting, what have you, not going to care for it all that much, which does surprise me, because Beans loves the LJ Peretti London Flake, and that is a very mild vapor. Now, not mild like this, but very mild, so it shocks me. So I guess he's after it because he loves the quality of Virginias or something. Beans is weird like that, I don't know. But, speaking of Beans, I have a story, and I'll wrap this up. Shit, this is longer than I wanted it to be. That coffee kicked in, dude. I feel wired. I noticed the Rainer, which I wanted for the longest time, the Golden Flake from Rainer, whatever the hell it's called, Rainer, was in stock. I get these one-time alert emails, as you all do, from Smoking Pipes. And I had been eyeballing that crap forever. And I saw some. It was a 210 limit per day, per customer. I got a couple of 10s, what have you. I also happened to notice Watch City Cigars had it in stock. And I reached out to Beans. I was like, hey, just so you know, Rainer's got... I'm at work running a test, looking at 3 monitors. You know, I got 3 monitors, and I'm running a pressure test. And on one of my monitors, I have Beans. And he's reviewing the Rainer. It's like a 3 or 4 year old video. And I'm texting him, and I send, hey, look, this stuff's in stock at Smoking Pipes and Watch City Cigars if you're interested. Well, as you know, I just got through smoking the Johnneman Flake from HU, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Like, that is going to forever be in my cellar, so God help me, as long as that is in circulation. Love it. That shit is amazing. Excuse my French. But, it's funny. Beans responds back to me. He's like, yeah, just to let you in on a little bit, I'm like 99% sure the Rainer is the American version of Johnneman Flake. However he said it, I'm paraphrasing and utterly destroying that, but he basically told me it's the same shit. It just has a different label on it. You're paying a premium because you're an American. And I'm 99% sure. So that kind of pissed me off. And the second he told me that, he starts talking about it on the video that I'm watching, which is 3 to 4 years old. So he's had all those years in between to figure that out. So I'm pretty sure he's figured that out, which is fine. It's going to be great. Jonathan Flake is great. It's twice the price when you buy the Rainer. So I'm a little disappointed in that regard. And I know some people may say, oh, that's not true. Maybe I'll even think there are some slight nuance differences, but it sounds about right to me. So that's kind of a bummer. Maybe next time I'll send that text prior to ordering it. It pisses me off. So, I feel like I bought something for the status symbol. You know what I mean? What is that stupid car you see that people drive around? Damn it. I'm not a car guy. What is that stupid rich woman, arm candy, trophy wife that no doubt her husband bought her that stupid, what is that stupid car? That they suck. They break down. They're like $180,000 vehicles. They break down those SUVs. They suck. Whatever. So I feel like that's what I did. I feel like I just bought something for the damn label. And I'll be honest. I think the tin art, by the way, if we're going to compare labels, I think the HU Jonathan Flake tin art is gorgeous. Like, you smoke that tobacco and it's so magical, and you're looking at the tin art and you're like, yes, that's a kite over the ocean. That's about how I feel right now. It's amazing. It's miraculous. It really is. This is long. Well, and then to top it all off, literally the next day, Solani H Burley Flake drops. And this is how it always works, which is why it pisses me off. So it was on the market for one day and it completely sold out. I can't justify spending money on all kinds of stuff. So I got a little bit of the Rainer, it's got to be called a Rainer, Golden Flake, and I just let it be. Skipped on the Solani Burley aged. And that's that. Yeah, so thanks for coming by. When you get down to the last third, it does some pretty interesting things. And I'm just here to tell you, I think a lot of people would like this, but I think a lot of people are going to say it's too mild, it's too boring, and that's fine. Again, if you love to retrohale the majority of your smoke, this may be something for you. If you don't do a lot of retrohaling, I'd steer clear of it. I just wouldn't even know what to smoke if I didn't retrohale. I can't taste anything if I don't retrohale. And I never, ever feel nicotine. I never feel nicotine on anything I've ever smoked. Nothing. I've never smoked a pipe and been like, oh, I'm getting nicotine. I don't feel it. Ever. So the very first thing I do in the morning is stick nicotine pouches in my mouth. So I don't know. I guess that's why. You all be well. Tempt.